Once upon a time, in a world filled with noise and chaos, there lived a young man named Marcus. He was like many of us, struggling with stress, uncertainty, and the pressures of daily life. Everywhere he turned, people offered him advice. Think positive. Follow your passion. Just be happy. But none of it seemed to work. The more he tried, the more he felt lost. One day, while wandering through an old bookstore, Marcus stumbled upon a dusty ancient text. The title read, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Curious, he opened the book and began to read. The words were simple but powerful. They spoke of control, resilience, and finding strength within. That day, Marcus discovered Stoicism, a philosophy that would change his life forever. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions or pretending life is perfect. It is about understanding what we can control and what we cannot. The Stoics taught that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions. This simple idea is the foundation of true inner strength. Imagine you are caught in a storm. The wind howls, the rain pours, and the thunder shakes the ground. You cannot stop the storm. It is beyond your power. But you can choose how to respond. You can panic, or you can find shelter, stay calm, and wait for it to pass. Stoicism teaches us to be like the person who stays calm. Life will always have storms, but we decide whether they break us or make us stronger. Marcus began applying Stoic principles to his life. When faced with difficulties, he asked himself, is this within my control? If it was, he took action. If it wasn't, he let go. He practiced gratitude, focusing on what he had rather than what he lacked. He accepted challenges as opportunities to grow. Slowly, his anxiety faded. He became more patient, more resilient, and more at peace. One of the greatest Stoic teachers, Epictetus, was born a slave. He had nothing, no wealth, no power, no freedom. Yet he became one of the wisest men in history. How? Because he realized that true freedom comes from within. No chains could take away his ability to think, to choose, to endure. This is the power of Stoicism. It does not promise an easy life, but it gives us the tools to face any life with courage. Modern self-help often tells us to chase happiness as if it were a prize. But Stoicism teaches that happiness is not something we find. It is something we cultivate. It comes from living with virtue, from acting with wisdom and integrity, even when no one is watching. A Stoic does not seek approval or fear criticism. They focus on being the best version of themselves, regardless of circumstances. Marcus' transformation was not instant. There were days he stumbled, days he forgot his lessons. But each time, he returned to the Stoic teachings. Over time, he noticed something remarkable. He was no longer ruled by his emotions. Anger, fear, and frustration no longer controlled him. Instead, he faced every situation with clarity and calm. Stoicism is the ultimate self-help philosophy because it does not rely on quick fixes or empty promises. It is a way of life, tested by time and hardship. The Stoics were not just thinkers, they were doers. They were soldiers, emperors, slaves, and ordinary people who faced war, disease, and betrayal. Yet they stood firm, not because they were unbreakable, but because they knew how to bend without breaking. Today, Marcus shares his journey with others. He tells them that Stoicism is not about being emotionless. It is about being free. Free from fear, free from doubt, free to live with purpose. The world will always be unpredictable, but our minds can be our greatest refuge. So if you are searching for strength, if you are tired of the endless chase for happiness, look no further than Stoicism. It is not a magic pill, but it is something far better, a timeless guide to mastering yourself. And in the end, mastering yourself is the greatest victory of all. The story of Marcus is the story of anyone who chooses the Stoic path. It is a path of courage, wisdom, and unshakable peace. And it is a path open to all who dare to walk it.